By the final years of the Second World War, German infantry were facing Allied tanks they could no longer stop with traditional weapons. I've 3D printed one of the most recognisable weapons of the Second World War, a Panzerfaust. So these are the bits we need for the Panzerfaust. These are the bits I've printed. So here you've got the fins for the warhead. There's 4 of them. Those 2 are the bits that make up the warhead. That's the stick for it, I don't know what it's called. And they're the bits that attach to that in those holes, hopefully. Here you've got the tubes for the pipe bit that the warhead sits in. So they're flexy enough to hopefully bend around that to fit in that. Here are the bits for the handle. They're the bits that need a bit of work doing to them. So that's what makes up a 3D printed Panzerfaust. Oh, and I nearly forgot, here's the sticker that sits on that bit. So I think it sits like that. But we'll look at that before we stick it on, just to make sure. So this bit didn't print properly. It should look like that, but it stopped printing for some reason because it fell over. Don't know why it fell over, but it did. So I had to print it again. So that was the only major real issue I had printing it. So that bit's no good. This is the bit we want. It's come out reasonably well, just needs all the fluff tidying up. So that makes up part of the handle. So these are the bits I need to tidy up. Shouldn't take too long. Got my little file. So let's see how far we get. Yeah, that bit's okay. I think we're good to go. So let's see if we can put it together. So all the bits are ready and prepped. I've got the instructions. Hoping it might not be too hard to put together, so let's give it a go, shall we? So that end should line up with those bits. So that's the top. There's 2 holes. There's another hole there. So I think that goes together like that, and then I think these bits just don't know why that bit's not staying. I might have to glue that bit in. That bit's not staying for some reason, so we'll come back to that. So they should kind of fold around there. So that goes on and over. That. Then, hoping, there we go. Oh, okay. I mean, it's not going anywhere. So that bit's just snapped off. But it's not really going anywhere, so that should be good. So let's get the instructions a bit closer. So then we need those bits. Oh, it's a really bad picture. I don't know if that's any better. So I think they go on like that. Aha. So 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. Then there's 1, 2, 3. They all line up. So it says to screw them on, but I'm actually going to glue them on and see if that works. So, don't know if it will or not. So while that's drying, this bit looks like it goes on there and the holes line up, and then a dowel goes through, and then that sits like that, and that's the sight, I think. And then that bit must line up with that bit, I reckon. So the glue's kind of worked, but I have found some little tiny screws in the house, so I'm hoping they'll fit if I can get them in, because they're so small and fiddly. So the glue didn't work, the screws didn't work, so I've had to make the files, the holes bigger with the file, and then printed these little black screws. So I've printed it, well no, I've made the holes bigger so those black screws fit in. I don't know if that's what they were for or not, because the instructions with the print weren't particularly good. So now I just need to get them in. That one's gone in. So I'm going to make the holes bigger and all the other bits, put it all together, and I'll show you when it's done. That's going to be the easiest thing to do, so I'll be back. So finally got all that bit together. I've had to make all the holes bigger with the file for everything to fit through, so that was a bit of a pain. It's not massively sturdy at the minute, so I'm gonna see what I can do about that. But yeah, that's the trigger and the sight. So let's put it all together. See, I don't know why that's loose. I'm going to stick that bit in the end. Let's glue it. And there we have the Panzerfaust. So here we have it. It's finally together. I've had to stick that little bit on, so that was loose. That bit was just a pain in the ass. So there's one last thing to do, and that's stick that onto that, and then we will have a World War II 3D printed Panzerfaust. That can't be that difficult, can it? Let's have a look, shall we? It's not the neatest, but it's on. And unless you look really closely, you're not gonna know. I don't think it's quite the right shape. But hey, here we go. A Panzerfaust is a shoulder-type German anti-tank weapon that was widely used in World War II. The first model was developed in 1943 for the use by the infantry against Soviet tanks. The Panzerfaust consisted of a steel tube containing a propellant charge of gunpowder, the grenade, which consisted of a small bomb attached to a wooden stem and fins, was inserted into the front end of the tube. When a firing pin on the outside of the tube was cocked, it set off a percussion cap that in turn ignited the propellant charge. This in turn propelled the grenade a short and moderate distance to the target, where it exploded. The hollow charge head of the grenade contained enough high explosive to penetrate even the thickest of tank armour. The exhaust from the propellant charge exited the rear of the tube, making the Panzerfaust a recoilless weapon. So there we have it. That is my 3D printed World War II German Panzerfaust. For those interested, I've used latte brown colouring. It's used pretty much a whole reel. It used 758-ish grams of filament, and they come in 1K reels. It's cost me just over 30 quid to make, so that's basically a spool and the sticker, because the sticker was a tenner. So 30 quid to make, used nearly a whole spool, and it's taken about 27 hours to print as well. It's took, I don't know what time it is now. It's took a good couple of hours to put it together, but obviously we had a few issues with filing some bits down to make it neat, and obviously making the holes bigger because they would not go in at all. But I'm really happy with the way it's come out. The sticker's not quite lined up right, something's out somewhere, but honestly I'm still really happy with the way that's come out. So I've got my next 3D printed project ready in my head, so I just need to crack on with that. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see next 3D printed. If I can do it, I'll do it. And until then, I shall see you in the next one.